The tipping comp, folks. Yes, the tipping comp. Dead. It's done. Dead. The old dead parrot's dead. Deceased. It lives no more. It may in a different form from next weekend. It may. But it won't be for money. Right. I just did this video about... finished it 5 minutes ago. This video. I'm redoing it now. This is the redo. I didn't want to go around the houses and talk too long. And I just didn't want to upset or offend anybody. But I did it in such a way it wouldn't have upset or offended. But because I'm concerned with people's feelings, I made it much too long. You'd have known the people I was on about. I didn't mention any names, but you'd known who they were. I'm now actually going to mention them, but not in a bad way. I'm just going to let you know the reasons for the comp, folks. There was 2 or 3 reasons. I know the comp was long-winded. I know the rules didn't seem that easy to grasp, but they were dead easy. I know I talked on for too long, because I do. I think Peter put that in one of the comment sections. Nothing against Peter at all. Don't mind that. That's an opinion. That's fine. The comments, the rules were pretty easy, really. I went too far to get to there. I wanted to make it a different tipping comp than anybody else had done before. I wanted it to be for money, but not a lot of money. And I wanted people to use that a little bit more than just betting odds-on shots or even money shots. And to that end, I wanted... Anyway, that's by the by. I understood what some people were saying. Didn't agree with it all, but understood. That's no problem. But the big issue is, Peter did mention in the bottom of his message, is it wholly legal? Would it be okay to do? Because some would still rate it as a form of gambling. That was what Peter said, and because it was in print and others had seen it, it concerned me because I didn't realise that. 3 other people have sent me messages in the channel email along the same lines that you could have issues, and I thought, wait a minute, we don't need issues. We have the odd person on there who's a hater who comes to disrupt the channel. He's been on all the other channels. I first came across him 18 months ago or more now on Flatcap Callum's channel. Then he's visited Connor. He's also visited The Glorious, and he's also visited Mickey. He's probably visited others. Everybody's got rid of him. I was probably the last to, but I only got rid when he started abusing folk on here. I've also, I think, got rid of his nemesis only 3 or 4 days ago, because I think the person that was on here causing grief is the same person. I know I've got a couple of people or one person on here that thumbs down everything, and I know there's one person on there at least, but there might be 2 or 3 that are of the same ilk, or they're the same person behind 2 or 3 profiles. So I thought, if I'm doing anything wrong, they'd be the first to report us. And then I thought to myself, well, there's 3 or 4, what many would term cowboys that we've run out of Dodge, got off YouTube, who watch the channel as well. I know because they comment, and I know because they send me threats by email. So I thought, no, there's too many people would want to upset things for everybody else, so it's just a no-goer. We could do something from this weekend onwards if enough of you want it, but it'd be more a friendly thing. But let me just tell you folks the reasons behind the comp. This is what this video is about. Please listen to the end of it. Please listen to the end. I mean, I'm going to name names, and I feel bad naming names, to be honest with you, but I'm going to name names. Nothing nasty, but I'm going to name some names. I didn't do that in the first video. This one will be a lot quicker. The comp was to bring more people together. The comp was to have some fun, and some of us earn off it, but not that much, and the downside was only a tenner, which wasn't a lot. I know the idea of putting it in there, starting it and trusting people wasn't for everybody, but I believe in trusting folk until they let you down. And as I said, if 5 people aren't paid, I was going to pay for them, so that wouldn't have been an issue. I wasn't doing it for money. If more people came to the comp and more people came on it and more people watched, I might earn something from YouTube, but whatever extra would have been negligible, it'd be next to nothing. Had I have won one of the 3 prizes myself, I was already giving a third of it away. I've already got a third of it marked for somebody in February or December of this year. It doesn't matter that the comp's not now running, because I'm doing that anyway. I made a commitment back end of last year, or early this year it was, to give something towards somebody that does something for others at the end of every year, because what they did touched me, and I'm still going to honour that commitment. I made it to myself, but I'm still going to do it. But it'd have been nice if I'd have won a prize and the comp was going to run, and ultimately you'd have been paying for me instead of me paying myself, folks. But anyway, it's not going to run, as I say, because of other influences and people that would have definitely thrown a spanner in the works. But the real reason for the comp, as I say, was to get more eyeballs on this channel, more views. I wouldn't have earned off YouTube anything much more. It wouldn't have been that, or not initially. But the reason I wanted more folk on here was I want to build an even greater community than we've got now on the horse racing side of things. Some have said only do horse racing, you don't need to do anything else. Well, as I've said in the past, folks, I do everything that I do, it'll never change. But horse racing has become a big part of it, and I love the community we've got. But I need it to be bigger. I need it to be a lot bigger. It isn't to earn. It isn't to earn, but ultimately, I've come on here to earn money. I've made that clear. I don't ask for money off anybody. I don't ask for donations off anybody. I don't ever get any money off anybody. Well, I've had 11 quid with 3 donations, so I get nothing compared to some of the tipsters on here get. Because I know when they have wins, the people shove them a few bob, and that's fine. Good luck to them. No problem at all there. But ultimately, I want YouTube to pay me, but that's going to be years away. Definitely 2 or 3 years away, and maybe in 6 or 7 years, if I'm still here, God willing, I'll earn good money then. This is for now. I want more people on my channel, and the reason I want more people on my channel is because we do 2 features. One is the scum versus the scum that are the bookies versus us, the punters. The more people that visit this channel, the more stories I'll have to tell. Some of them have been watched by many, many, many people. I've got it in for the bookies because I know a couple of people who are relatively close to me who've been done by the bookies, and they can't get the monies back they've been done with. I've done one story about one of them, a young lady, and it sickens me. So that's one part of the channel. But the biggest thing we do is the scores on the doors. Now that might not seem important to everybody, although many of you watch it, and many of you watch it religiously, and for that I'm eternally grateful. But the reason it matters a lot is, or I want it to matter even more, is I want to get many, 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 many more eyes to the scores on the doors. And the reason is, I want more and more people to know about the better tipsters on YouTube, the ones that aren't in it to charge them, aren't making money, and that aren't trying to rob them. But more than that, I want them to know about the tipsters on YouTube that aren't currently here, the ones that we've effectively run out of town. Because I know for a fact they're all going to come back at different times. Now I hope they don't, but I'm sure that they will. And we've got one tipster there that's got, say, 1,000 or 1,400 or 1,500 subscribers. We've got one that's got 2,500 or 3,000. We've got one that's got over 6,000. And we've got another in Oldham, I don't know how many he's got, but he's got that many channels and that many people working for him and with him. He's probably got more than all of them put together. Now he's been clever enough to stay away for a while. The others have gone more recently, but they will come back again. And the problem we have, folks, is this. When somebody, especially let me give you Peter, for instance, old Sandro there, he's got, say, 6,500, 7,000 subscribers, okay? Now, most of them have probably, many of them subscribed 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Many of them won't watch him when he comes back. Many of them won't watch him the last couple of times he's been on here. Many of them will have stopped watching him probably a year or 2 ago, but haven't given up the subscription because many don't, so it's a false figure. But the thing is this, when Peter comes on here and does all his stuff and has a couple of winners, and he screams from the rooftops about an 800 to 1 treble, blah, 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 even if there were 6 horses given, if 3 of them win and they come to 800 to 1, he screams and screams and screams about it, does his 20-minute videos, and he's all pretty entertaining in a very weird way, you'll get more and more people thinking, oh, wait up, this guy knows his stuff. He's been doing it longer than anybody else. He's given more winners than anybody else. Nobody knows more about Ireland than Peter, blah, 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 blah. We'll give him our fiver or a tenner. And then when we get in his club and he wants to introduce us to other things, we'll give him more and more and more. Yes, we'll end up leaving him when we realise it's all a con and we're not making money, but by then we'll give him a lot of money. And by then he's got all our details, so he can always mail us and message us, and he can send them to the other people in the different stables, like Maurice and the Watchman and Holden and all those. Yes, we'll give him a few quid and then people can hound us for the rest of our days. And that's what's happening. And what happens is when Peter comes back on here, most of his videos get watched by anything from, say, 800 to 1,600 people. Of that 1,600 people, all he needs to do is turn 50 or 100 of them over the space of a week into new customers. Number 1, he's made a lot of money. Number 2, he's got lots of emails. And number 3, he just can keep going off here after the bad run and keep coming back on, off, on, off, on, off. The way this YouTube thing works is, the more views you get, the more thumbs up you get, the more subscribers you get, but especially thumbs up and comments, by the way, the more YouTube push it to more people. Now, I don't push for subscribers, you know I don't, folks. Alright, everything on there. But I don't ask. Once a fortnight I might say, if anyone wants to subscribe they can do or give me a thumbs up. I've done about 3 videos about racing in, I would say, the last 12 months, where I've said, please give this one a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up, because more will see it. I want them to see this one. I want people to see it. And true enough, you have done, folks. Where I might normally have 30, 40 or 50, you've got me to say 120. But what I'll say to that is, some of the people that you're following yourselves, like maybe Dave, or Flatcap, or Connor, or Mickey, they'll put a video out, we've got 200 or 300 thumbs up on it. And the reason it has, and they don't ask as such, the reason it's got more is because the day before, if you've won money with them, you're happy with them, you give them a thumbs up. I'm offering nothing. I'm not, folks, I get that. But the thing is, the more thumbs up they get, the more YouTube is pushing it. And they'll get more people in, and I want that. That's what I want. I want people to go to them and not to what I call the snake oilers. But the thing is, we've got this Scores on the Doors where I don't just mention all the tipsters, I also will tell stories about how the snake oilers have done and what they've done wrong and so on and so forth. And that alerts folk coming to YouTube who don't know any better, who not to go with, as much as who to go with. It's about keeping them out of the clutches of those that are there to do them. And we can't do that. We've got rid of them now. We've done brilliant. They've all gone for now. They will come back, and others of that ilk will come back. But the bigger we are as a channel and the stronger we are, the more YouTube will push every video I do with the Scores on the Doors. The more unsuspecting folk will see it, because what you'll get is, you'll get some people coming online, they'll see Peter's videos if he comes back, or Sandro, for a week or so, and he'll mention the 800 to 1 treble, and the 33 to 1 horse he had 16 or 18 months ago in Ireland, and everything else, and some people will just fall for it. Same with Neil or The Watchman. The Watchman, I've been doing it for 35 years, no one's been doing it any longer. I know all about it. I was the tipster in the News of the World, as well as an investigative journalist. I've owned my own race horses, blah, 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 blah. Neil Maurice, I'm in my colours room, here's all my colours. I go all over the world, everybody knows me, blah, 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 blah. People believe it, they start paying, they give the details away, and all of a sudden, they're on that wheel and they can't get off. And even if they get off it, they get bombarded for the rest of their lives. As I say, we need to keep folk away from those that are after just getting the details and drain them of whatever they can. And we're never going to do that with the numbers that we're generating. But I thought, if I get this comp and get many of different channels involved in the comp, let's say someone from Dave the Suits channel's winning it, and someone from Peter's channel's second or third, or from Flatcap Callum's channel, or whatever else it may be, they'll talk about it in the comment section, and other people in the comment section that don't know we exist all look in and see how it's doing and see who we are. And that's what I want. The 3 names, well, 3 of the biggest channels out there are Connor 500. I've sent him a couple of messages to say well done when he's had good wins, but I've not told him who I am, not told him about my channel. He might not even know I exist. He may do, but he may not do. Another one, Flatcap Callum's channel, he knows who I am, he knows what we're doing. And then Mickey D, he knows who we are, knows what we're doing. I've had a lot of viewers from Mickey's channel, a hell of a lot in early days. Many have come from there. But I've never heard either of them push this channel or tell folks to come over here. Now maybe they've done and I've missed it. I don't see every video they all do. I don't look in the comment sections. I don't have the time. But I would have wished and I would have hoped, not because I push people to go looking at their channel, not because I big all 3 of them up, which I do and I believe in them. Not for that. I don't do anything for gain. I don't do anything to get something back. I promise you, folks. If you know me, you'll know that to be the case. If you've watched the channel one time, you'll know that's the case. But I would have thought they'd be like me. They would want the cowboys off YouTube. Firstly, because they're helping other folk. They're helping folk that haven't got the money to lose to cowboys. But also, in a roundabout way, it brings more people to their channels rather than what I want to call the dodgy channels. But I also would have thought they'd think, wait a minute, this guy here, he's trying to do something right and trying to rid YouTube of what I class to be snake oilers, and trying to sort of make it fair for those that are trying to do it fair, do proper profit and losses, and look after folk. Now, I'm not asking those 3 people to start pushing me and start mentioning me. If you're all going to see it, folks, hear about it, so that's up to you. But I think it's something you should have done. And I think it's something you should have done, because if it makes this channel stronger, and I'm the one, because I'm the guy in the middle where I get bits from everywhere coming from all different channels. So lots of people know about this channel from other channels. I'm like a conduit between them all. If this channel is stronger and bigger, I'm the only one that's standing up to them all and saying, they're this, they're that, they're the other. I'm the only one that's getting emails saying they're going to take me to court, and they're going to do this to me, do that to me. And I'll take it, I can take it, no problem. I don't mind, because I don't think I'm breaking any laws or doing anything wrong. And I feel passionate about it. So none of you guys need to stand up against these people and call them names and whatever else. But I think it would be great if maybe once a week or every couple of weeks you mention in a video, is anybody watching what he's doing with the scores on the doors? Or if you want to know how the current standings are and who's doing well and who's doing badly at the moment, go and have a look at the scores on the doors, or what the guy's doing with the scores on the doors is doing something admirable there. He's trying to keep those that are after your money, that want you to pay money for every single tip, and that are lying about the prices and about how many winners they've had. He's trying to keep you away from those people, because some of their own people in their own stable are going with these people as well, because sometimes they believe the bluff. They just hear it and think, well, he's doing well, he says he's doing this and that, well, I'll give him a fiver, I'll give him a tenner, and then I said they lost for the rest of their lives. You've got the details forever. So that, folks, was the biggest idea behind the tipping comp. I wanted to make the channel bigger, not so much for revenue now, not for... I wouldn't get a lot more from YouTube from it, but I wanted to make it bigger, so whenever I put a message out to do with the scores on the doors or the scum on the bookies, because there's more people watching it, and more importantly, more giving a thumbs up and comments, and that's what I'd like to say to you folks, going forward. See, I'm saying it, I don't... Last time I said this probably 4 weeks ago. Please, if you see a scores on the doors, or the scum that are the bookies, give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or give it a comment, or all three, because it helps YouTube to push it, and we need YouTube to push it, because the more they push it, the more that see it, and the more that we keep folk away from the hands of those dodgy people. And they will be back on here from time to time, they will, and we want to keep them away and get them out straight away, and there'll be others that come on here. And the stronger this channel is, the more YouTube will push it to folk who don't know any better. And that was the biggest idea behind the comp, folks. So, trying to be as honest and transparent as I can. If any of you managed to get this to the end, let me know you made the end, and thank you very much. Any comments you've got to make, thank you very much. If I've upset any of those three people that have got their own channels, I've not meant to, it's not come from a bad place. But I just do wish you push your folk over here to come over here more. Not to give me any money, to give me anything. I get nothing off them. I get nothing, I don't get anything off anybody. I'll still keep saying good things about you three, whether you want me to or not. Until I feel any of you are doing folk or whatever else, I'll say nothing but good things about the three of you, because I think you're all doing a good job, all three of you. But I do wish you'd push this channel a little more, only because we're just trying to get away from those that are doing totally different to yourselves, those that are conning people. You three aren't. These other people are. Anyway, I've said it now. I wasn't going to mention names, but I've said it, so there we go. If any of you folk that follow these three channels are upset with me, just tell me why. You're wrong, but just tell me why. And I hope you do understand where I'm coming from. I'm not knocking any of the three presenters at all. I like all three of them. But I just wish this channel got stronger, so as we could make it easier to get rid of the snake oilers. We always get rid of them in the end. We've done it with all of them. But if we had a lot more eyes on this and a lot more people watching, and if we became stronger than them, we'd get rid of them all a hell of a lot quicker. We'd save a lot of unsuspecting folk a lot of money. And that's why we're doing it. It's a personal crusade, folks, and I'm all in on it.